Hello on this blue moon Sunday, second moon in May. So it's the blue moon, full moon energy vibes going on. Let's pull a card for the collective. It is a timeless message, however. Also, if it doesn't resonate, you can leave it behind. So we're looking for one card for the collective today. Ooh, just one to come out. You know what? Then it went back in. Let's do another shuffle. Just one card, please. One card for the collective on this blue moon Sunday. Just one card, please. Keep getting like a bunch together. Okay, there we go. Okay. Well, two cards actually came out. So there is the Seven of Swords and Justice, which is the 6. So a 6 and a 7. Haha, I'm not going there. But let's see. Okay, so let's look at the Seven of Swords here. So right away I'm drawn to the burden of the swords he's carrying in his hand, and also the background of tents, like a circus, is the vibe I'm getting from this today. And how you're looking back at these two swords that have been left behind. Has it been left behind in haste? Or are you trying to sneak away from this circus of events that you've been in for so long? Like, it looks like you've been going to one thing to another of potential chaos or things that just didn't fit, and rushing away with these 5 ideas that are left, looking back at the 2 that are left behind. So is it like, should I leave those there? Or do I need to go back and get them? Because, I mean, looks like your hands are pretty full, right? Leave them behind in the chaos. Whatever it is you're questioning. I feel like there's a lot of questioning going on here about leaving behind the circus of thoughts and ideas. Maybe there's a looping thought going on. You just need to take a run for it and get away with these ones that you can carry. And then with the justice, so running away to justice, more solid foundation, something more balanced. Also, the scales in the hand, definitely a balanced vibe going on here. And then the sword in the right hand, ready to take on whatever's coming at you with one step at a time, one step going forward. The crown with the sun on the head, is it? Not 100% on that one, sorry. I am still learning here. But with the pillars and the posture and the throne, it feels like a solid foundation of balance. Let's see what the book says. Also, I haven't done this with the 2 cards, but multiple cards kept wanting to come out, so I figured, fine, let's try with the 2 cards today. I am trying to learn them one at a time, as I mentioned in the description, to reconnect with my intuition and myself and my remembrance, and not be so reliant on looking to, accompanying books or other sources for the definitions and the meanings of the cards when they come out. When I do pull them, I definitely have the connection to pull out the messages that want to be heard or provided to whomever is asking. So I know that I have that connection. I'm just strengthening my intuition instead of relying on another source when I do have it in me to figure it out, between myself and the energy of the person inquiring. Like, that's the feedback I've gotten from whomever I've done a reading for. So just thought I'd add that in there. Just realized I incorrectly numbered justice as 6. So that 6-7 actually doesn't apply. It's 11. So the 11 power number, right, in numerology. And I don't remember what it was, but I did have the Justice card come out this week. So let's go to the book and see. And then I did pull up an online source as well again, because I'm not quite sure if Justice was one of those ones that was all wordy and didn't really vibe. So let's go with the 7 of Swords first in the book. And it says, a man in the act of carrying away 5 swords rapidly. So it is a rapid motion going on. The 2 other swords of the card remain stuck in the ground. A camp is close at hand. Okay, I thought it was a circus. Still could be circus vibes, chaotic. Let's continue. A camp is close at hand. Design, attempt, wish, hope, confidence. Also, quarreling, a plan that may fail, annoyance. The design is uncertain in its import because the significances are widely at variance with each other. Okay. And then the Justice card, as this card follows the traditional symbolism and carries above all its obvious meanings, there is little to say regarding it outside the few considerations collected in the first part to which the reader is referred. Okay, I think this is one of those extra wordy ones. Let me just continue. I don't know. I didn't really catch it skimming the words here, so I'll just read it. It will be seen, however, that the figure is seated between pillars, which I think is signifying balance, aside from the fact that she is holding a scale. Like the high priestess, and on this account, it seems desirable to indicate that the moral principle which deals unto every person according to their works, well, of course, it is in strict analogy with higher things, differs in its essence from the spiritual justice which is involved in the idea of election. Okay, so this is one of those extra wordy ones. The latter belongs to a mysterious order of providence, in virtue of which it is possible for certain people to conceive the idea of dedication to the highest things. The operation of this is like the breathing of spirit where it wills, and we have no canon of criticism or ground of explanation concerning it. It is to the possession of the fairy gifts and the high gifts and the gracious gifts of the poet. We have them or have not, and their presence is as much a mystery as their absence. The law of justice is not, however, involved by either alternative. In conclusion, the pillars of justice open into one world and the pillars of the high priestess into another. So I was going to quit reading that description, but was encouraged to finish reading it out in case something there connected with someone else's energy that is watching. So hopefully somebody got something out of some of that. I will now go to this online source here, which includes how the both cards interact, the Seven of Swords and the Justice card. So understanding the Justice card, balance, fairness, accountability, and the law of cause and effect in action. So I think that that wordy description from the book did kind of touch on that, just in a more roundabout way, in my opinion. Justice represents the universal law of balance, which the card definitely shows, and the principle that every action has consequences. This card appears when fairness, truth, and accountability are paramount in your situation. The key words most associated with this card: balance, fairness, truth, give us insight into its core energy. And then understanding Seven of Swords, deception, theft. So he does look like a theft is going on there, I guess, is one way to interpret it. Strategic thinking, or getting away with questionable behavior. The Seven of Swords represents deception, theft, or using cunning and strategic thinking to get away with questionable behavior. So I did pick up on it being a theme of questioning, but I saw it more as like running away from like a chaotic situation, not in like a cunning way. That was my take on it. This card can indicate situations where someone is being dishonest, stealing, literally or figuratively, or using mental cleverness for selfish purposes. The Seven of Swords carries the theme of deception, theft, stealth, getting away, which interact meaningfully with Justice's energy. So I felt it more like a getting away, as in getting away from something that no longer serves, not as in, oh, I'm getting away, sneaking away with this. So take that how it lands for you, whichever way. So how these cards interact, according to this online source, it says both cards share intellectual, communicative air energy, doubling its presence in your reading. When the same element appears twice, the universe is highlighting themes associated with that energy. When you encounter Justice and Seven of Swords together, consider that area of your life requires the integration of balance with deception. The cards don't appear together randomly. Their pairing is meaningful and specific to your situation or question. This combination often surfaces during times when you're being asked to hold multiple truths simultaneously, which is very interesting because multiple cards kept wanting to come out despite me asking for just one. So let me continue here. Finding wisdom in the space where both cards' messages overlap and inform each other. Interesting.